Hello and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 15 team selection video with me, Holly Shand. We've got a midweek round of fixtures, which is always difficult to prepare for, but I'll be going through my transfer plans, team selection and captaincy decision. I'm aiming for 30k subs by the end of the year, so I need all your support to help me get there. Let's get this one to 500 likes as well. Let's get into it. Looking first at how my game week 14 went, and on paper, it looks pretty good. 65 points, a -4 hit gives me a very small green arrow, but I did make some big mistakes. I did make the transfers that I said I was going to on my team selection video last week. Saliba came in for cash, which didn't work out this week, but I'm sure it will down the line. And Gordon came in for Diaby. He did outscore Diaby, so that looks good, although he is currently flagged with an injury. But when the news broke that Watkins was a doubt for this game, and I didn't like Unai Emery's comments in his press conference on Friday, I decided to take the -4 Watkins to Darwin, and it was a little bit of a rash decision. I felt like as soon as I made the transfer that I wasn't quite convinced I'd made the right move. Darwin with a 2-pointer, Watkins with an 11-pointer, factor in the -4 as well. I've lost out on 13 points there. And I am a bit worried about owning Darwin going forward. So not the best decision there. Salah captain over Haaland didn't pay off this week. Not by a lot. But I was on Salah captain all week, so it's not really a decision I regret. But there's some good performances elsewhere in my squad. A clean sheet for Lascelles, an assist for Tsimikas. Livramento on my bench with a clean sheet and a bonus point was frustrating, but I would never have played him over Saliba. And Bomo delivering an attacking return, as did Son and Saka. Darwin, the only one of my front seven to blank. And I don't feel like I'm far away from the optimal front seven at the moment, but Darwin in over Watkins at the minute is a tough one to take. But I've got to bear in mind that I made those transfers with the next 3 game weeks in mind, not just game week 14. And Watkins now has Man City at home, followed by Arsenal at home. So hopefully, come game week 17, and I've had 3 game weeks out of Darwin, I'm feeling a bit better about the situation, but I am behind on the points as things stand. Transfer plans then, and I'm heading into game week 15 with 1 free transfer, 0.9 million in the bank. Few issues to think about, starting off with Anthony Gordon, who after his 10-pointer limped off in the game against Manchester United with some hip pain. So hopefully he will be available for game week 15. A tight turnaround, so there's no guarantees there, but I feel like should he be fit, he is part of the optimal midfield right now. And Everton away, obviously his boyhood club, it's a huge fixture for him. Given the amount of injuries Newcastle United have got, I think unless it's something serious that's going to rule him out for a while, I can imagine him playing some part in that game. So I'm hopeful that I can get through that one without too much of an issue. I've seen reports this morning coming out of Manchester City that Haaland could face some FA ban for his dealings with the referee in the game against Spurs on Sunday, which is something we need to keep an eye on for captaincy, and also bearing in mind City blank in game week 18. So if Haaland was to miss a game through suspension between now and game week 18, that would cause a big concern. So I don't know how long that will take to shake out and us to get some more information on. City play again on Wednesday evening against Villa. So it's a situation that I'm going to be monitoring. It could be nothing, but it's just something to bear in mind, especially with that upcoming blank. And then Darwin Núñez, the only one of my attacking players to blank in game week 14. Midweek game against Sheffield United, who just sat their manager. It was a poor performance from Darwin, though, in the game against Fulham. So there's a slight concern that he could be heading for a midweek benching. I'm already feeling like I want Watkins back. I feel like I've made my bed, so I'm going to have to lie in it for the next couple of game weeks. I have got the funds to get back to Watkins. And remember, Villa are at home to City, who are without Rodri. Villa to attack, Watkins is in form. So I am a bit apprehensive going into this fixture now without Watkins. He's in over a third of teams as well, which is a little bit scary. So I think I've got to stay and stick with the decision I made to bring in Darwin for Watkins, but it is a transfer that I could be looking to reverse very soon, but not this week. One free transfer. I feel like if I can get through this midweek round of games, they're always quite difficult to predict. Anything can happen under the lights in midweek. I think it favours home teams, but also a lot of teams aren't used to the demands of midweek fixtures. We do get benchings in there as well. For me, I think it's a week to roll. I did put my team into the AI transfers on Fantasy Football Hub. You can do this as well for free right now with a 30-day free trial, which will take you through the entire festive schedule. And it did say to roll the transfer. So I think I'm on the right lines with my moves for this week. I have to keep in mind that blank game week 18 where I've got on Burno and Haaland, who are both going to blank as well as my goalkeeper Flecken. Team selection time then, and a few things to consider in here. Between the sticks, I've got Flecken away at Brighton. He's going to start over Areola away at Spurs. Neither of them with the best fixture, but I just feel like I trust Flecken more in terms of his general goalkeeping abilities right now. And Brighton with a lot of injuries, it's a fixture that could suit him. In the defence, I've got a decision to make on who to start, who to bench. I had Livramento's 7-pointer on my bench in game week 14. Arsenal away at Luton and Liverpool away at Sheffield United have the better clean sheet potential though. So it is going to be Saliba and Tsimikas and Lascelles who starts on the pitch, with Livramento and Burke, who's still a doubt, on my bench. I just feel like if there is going to be some rotation at Newcastle, then Livramento could be one that could drop to the bench. But, we could see some surprise rests in the midweek round of games anyway. So he's a very good player to come on. So I am going to have him as my first sub. In the midfield, it picks itself. I've got Mbomo, Gordon, Son, Saka and Salah. Some nice fixtures there. Obviously, Salah away at Sheffield United and Saka away at Luton. A nice home game for Son as well. So high hopes for this midfield. Hopefully Gordon is fit. And then up front, it's Haaland away at Aston Villa, Darwin away at Sheffield United. I am looking a bit that front line could absolutely fall apart in midweek. I've got Archer on my bench, Liverpool at home, to come in if I need him. Hopefully the Blades get a new lease of life with a new manager, but who knows at this phase of the season. Captain decision this week looks particularly tough because there's plenty of names in the frame. For me, it's between Haaland, Salah, Son and Saka. Son with the home game, however, his away form has been the better this season, so I don't think the home and away thing is going to really swing my decision making this week. I guess the big decision is who I'm more convinced is going to get minutes. The situation with Haaland and this rumbling FA ban is probably enough to put me off giving him the captain's armband. We've got Saka in the Tuesday fixtures against Luton away, one of just 2 fixtures on Tuesday. So if we were to get a leak that Saka definitely starts, I could be tempted to give him the armband. But right now, given that Sheffield United have sacked their manager, I am leaning towards Salah captain, Haaland vice captain, but Son's always there in the mix as well. I feel like of all these players, I feel like I'd be more convinced of Son playing, starting the game than any of them. To be fair though, all of these sides have struggled a little bit for form. A few of them have managed to grab results, Arsenal and Liverpool in the last game. But City and Spurs are struggling to get those wins at the moment. And I feel like when you're in that situation where you're dropping points, the managers could come under a lot of criticism for resting star men in these fixtures. So they're probably all going to start, but I do feel like Son's probably got the best chance of starting. So captaincy is fluid. I won't lock it in until Tuesday's deadline stream. This is my only long form video for Game Week 15, so if you have enjoyed it, hit that like button. Let's get to 500 likes and subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 30k subs by the end of the year. I am going to need all of your support, and watch out because tomorrow there's 2 streams coming your way. We've got the press conference stream, which I've scheduled for 1 o'clock, but I could move it earlier depending on when those press conference times actually land. So make sure you've hitting the notify button because that will tell you when I go live. And then at 4 o'clock UK time, I'm going to be doing the deadline stream. That's 2 hours before the Game Week 15 deadline, which is at 6 o'clock UK time. So make sure that you don't miss that one either. The links for both of those are in the description to this video. Thank you for watching.